A major principle that has guided me throughout my life is in every experience, there is something to be grateful for. And so, even everything that I've gone through, my father not being there for my mother and seeing her struggle, to care for three children, a girl and two boys, that I was so grateful that I am so grateful that I got to see a woman with strength. You know, her seeing my mother every day, laughing, smiling, joking, playing with us, um, even when we, didn't have the best houses. For a time we didn't have a car, and even the house we lived in, we had tenants, spiders, mice, bugs. And my mother, I felt like we were rich, rich in that we had family, my brothers, me and my mom, and even when we didn't have other family members to support us, I was grateful, am grateful of our bond that we have. My mother taught us she would say that the only thing you have right now is your family. We have us, and we built us. My brothers today, we talk on the phone um, often. And my mother built a relationship in where we could have a conversation with her. We could talk about a lot of things, and many things that happened during my childhood, um, uh, help to foster that it is so important to have a conversation. And that even with my children today, I want them to conversate with me. If they don't like something, I want them to feel comfortable coming to me. Therefore, when our children had bullying, I was like, so grateful that my son and daughter, as soon as they hit the car, they would tell me about their day. And it's when I think about my life, I don't see what I didn't have. I see a lot of what I did have. For a minute, I wanted to, and I had anger, for a minute and throughout my life, childhood. I still, because it was more about seeing a woman do the work, and my father not being there for to help her, and not being there to guide my brothers. But my mother's principles went unimposed. And what she had told us was that she would say the sky is blue, joke about it, and he would say no, it's green. So her principles went unimposed. Even the misuse of my body that I went through. And if you listen to my podcast, I am not big on labeling, because I think because labels stick, and often you can live out that label. And I've found out, even just after realizing this truth and having it reinforced, that you can live out labels and how they can deter you from your path. But every experience builds on the next, and every experience teaches us who we are, that we are more than human beings, that we are beyond, what we see, what we experience. And so, even with the misuse, I learned how not to treat someone. I learned the importance of integrity and truth, and tried to honor that as much as possible through my life. And I encourage my children to do the same. That I don't know, I can't say that without them I wouldn't learn such valuable principles. What I can say, as with the misuse of my body, abuse, that I learned valuable principles to help guide me throughout life, to help preserve my health, my mind, my body, to help be about quality relationships instead of quantity, to learn how to be. To be so susceptible, so not susceptible, but so eager, so my ground so fertile, to read the Bible, to learn about Jesus, and just thinking about him today, his demeanor, his what they showed. He was more about being aligned with who he was and why he was here, and more about character and integrity, and more about really honoring that he was more than just a physical body with everything that he had endured, that he was more than just, the slander, the names they called him, that he was more than just a carpenter. He was our builder. He was of wood. He was a builder of this earth, and helping to bring awareness, spiritual awareness, that again, that we are more than our physical bodies. We are coming up on Thanksgiving, and my last podcast was about using the holidays as an opportunity to honor, to heal, to honor yourself, to your divine purpose and reason for being here. That we are all on missions to, I believe, to reveal the truth, to help people remember who they are. And so I know the holidays can seem overwhelming, especially if you have family members that have misused you, or do their actions or inactions. Even people, our parents so I know what that is. Even when you think about your parents not being there for you, I've experienced that, when you have had someone to misuse your body, when slander and, being called a liar, and, just, it's not about religion, but it's more about who who you want to be. Who do you see yourself as? Do you have a positive role model? And it doesn't matter if they're alive or dead, or I have transitioned from this earth. What matters is what you believe in. What do you believe in? Good? Do you believe in evil? Do you believe in doing what's right? Do you believe in healing? Do you believe in righteousness? Do you believe that your life means more than what anybody else says or does? And when we have thoughts that we are more than our body, that it didn't just happen to me. He said, what they have done, Jesus, what they have, God, what they have done to you, they first did to him. Because anybody that misuses our body, anybody that calls us outside of our name, we have to remember that we did not build ourselves. We did not make ourselves. We have a creator. Whether you believe in calling this creator God, or whether you believe in Jesus, someone created us. The beautiful sanctity of birth and even transition, getting older, growing old gracefully. That something created us. And when you talk about the creation, you are talking about the creator. When you do wrong to the creation, you are doing wrong to the creator. You're doing wrong to yourself. And so there's more compassion. We had movers yesterday, and and there were some questionable ethical issues. And then the first thing you think about, it's not right. But then there's another part of you that says, what they have done to us, they have done to themselves. What this person has done to us, they have done to themselves. And that's more compassion. And that's what I had for my father, not seeing us grow as children, take our first, bring our homework from school, and have our prom dates, and, all of the questions and concerns that we had growing up as teenagers. And, I think about the people that misused my body, and how sad it is, what state they were in, me to keep it a secret, but what state were they in to want to do something, or to do something like that to someone else? It's more of wow, and how it becomes clear that you want to take a different mindset. You want to really enjoy this purpose, this life, this gift of life, the creation of our body, and how it works, and the heart, and the size of our fist, how it pumps blood throughout our body, and our legs, skeletal muscles were moving yesterday, and the aches and pains that I have. And when you think about it, it's like, thank God I have my legs. I have my voice. I have my hearing. I have my life. And gratitude is just about appreciating where you are at any given state. It's more than just one occasion. It's more than what led to Thanksgiving, what it surrounds, the Indians, the Native Americans, and the Pilgrims. It's more than just that. It is a grace that is, oh my gosh, that supersedes any thought about grace and mercy. When you go through your lives and you think about, all the things that you have done and accomplished, and things that you would have liked another opportunity to do, the grace and the mercy that is behind that, right? That it still has you here, that still, have clothes, have your mind, have your body in any form, that you are able to use it. Many people that, weren't abused, Helen, oh gosh, I'm trying to think of her last name, but she, had a water accident, and had some paralyzed um, limbs and body, and she painted with her mouth. There are people, not to compare, but when you think about it, it's like, well, if she can do it, I can do it. I have my legs, I can walk, I can breathe, I can without difficulty, and so gratitude is seeing more than your current state, seeing more than your past. It is seeing your present and the possibilities and the opportunities that you have. That after you let things go, what brighter door will open up for you? What brighter door will open up for you and serve you and help to reveal that your life has meaning and purpose, that you are here for reasons, that no experience defines you, that you have the opportunity to create a generational love cycle, and not a pain cycle. But when you let things go and you see your children as an extension of you, if you have children, and see an opportunity to teach them principles of, honoring and respecting life, when you could take what you've learned and one person at a time make this world a better place. I think then we will see the decrease in suicides and depression and anxiety, not being worried about the future, not thinking that's going to happen again, but living in the present and letting go, realizing that that doesn't define you. Your life doesn't have to be like that. You don't have to be depressed. That was one of the things I looked at, statistics. You don't have to be depressed. You don't have to be anxious. You don't have to be angry and resentful. That once you let it go, oh my gosh, there's pleasant sleep. There's a pleasant, clear mind. There's creativity that will overflow in your lives if you just believe that your life has meaning and purpose, that you are more than your experiences, that nothing defines you, because you cannot be defined. You cannot put human life in a box. You can't put what controls our heart, our digestive system, our renal system, our kidney system, our muscles, and our skeletons. Scientists are still trying to figure out the human body. We make predictions, but God, the Creator, says there are no predictions. I have a plan for your life, a purpose, not to harm you, but to bring out the best in you, the truth in you, to give you meaning and purpose. And I hope you will take this opportunity, this holiday season, to reflect every day on how great you are, how much meaning your life has and purpose, and that you are more than these emotions that you are feeling. That you will remove these weeds of anger, guilt, shame, resentment, self-doubt, one by one tendering your inner garden, your mind, your heart, because you are worth it and you deserve it. This is Timika Chambers with Create a Generational Love Cycle. I hope that this message has been helpful for you and realizing that you are more, that you are great, something great. You are an absolute expression of divinity of this earth and beyond. Happy Thanksgiving to you. May you experience a heart of gratitude and that it overflows. All right, take care of you guys. Take care of yourself. Bye.